Hey guys, so today I'll be doing a tutorial on geometry modification. So these are essentially modifiers that can essentially transform certain geometries that can mimic building forms. And it's going to be pretty good for analyzing how light shadows play in a city landscape. Right, so the first one I'll be showing is the taper modification. So under the modifier panel, just type in tapered, and essentially what that does is it affects each end of the geometry. So it'll either move it inwards into itself or outwards like that. So something like this would obviously scatter the sunlight differently. So the top of the building will be less affected by sunlight, which can allow buildings behind it get exposed to sunlight. Alright, so next would be the twist modification. So this essentially twists the geometry on whichever axes that you choose. So X, Y, or the Z axes. So this is a modification that you see a lot in modern skyscrapers. That's because the angle of the building can allow a lot of the sunlight to hit the streetscape. So this can be good for exposing the ground level to more sunlight. So another modifier that you can add is the skew modifier. So this essentially moves the geometry either left or right depending on which axes that you choose. So this is generally used in the conceptual stages of massing. Stretch is another modifier that you can use. So this essentially just stretches the building up or down depending on the axes that you choose. But a lot of these modifiers are only really useful if you use them together. So for example, on this stretch modifier, I can add something like symmetry. I could add tapered, and all the other ones that we just looked at. And only really when we have multiple modifiers stacked on each other is when we can create these sort of interesting shapes. That'll give us more flexibility to analyze the sunlight and how it hits the streetscape. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are like the main modifiers you would want to use for some sort of massing study and to analyze the surrounding environment on your site.